4 o'clock, I call this meeting order.
I'll start wearing my contacts here in a few days. Can't wear them after I get surgery.
Approve the minutes for the previous meeting. Need a motion.
I make a motion, we approve them and dispense the reading on them.
So we need a second first.
Second the motion.
John said. Okay. Just pull up here.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah. Fox.
Okay, in July, we took in
They
60,
missed Fox.
oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
In the month of July, we provided 2,510 visits to 2,343 clients and gave 355 vaccines. And everything's going great. I know I told you at the last meeting that we had interviewed and hired the nurse practitioner, but I couldn't release the name, but she is almost through with training. It's Leanne Noakes. She's from Warren County, but she's catching on really good. She's gonna be a good fit, so we're excited to have her.
Most of those vaccines that we gave were the school for school.
A lot of them are, yes. That's why the number increased so much by about 100 from the last time.
We should separate report.
Motion?
Need a second.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any questions? Question. Speak.
Okay, in July, we took in 64 dogs and 34 cats. We had, oh, and there's a, on the return to owner for dogs, it's 8 dogs were returned to owner, but 5 were puppies that the mama drug off, trying to get rid of. So we didn't charge because they were puppies. We had 1 cat returned to owner, 7 dogs were adopted, 2 cats were adopted. We didn't do any grant-funded adoptions last month. 61 dogs went to rescue, 19 cats. We had 10 cats die of natural causes, upper respiratories going around, and it's terrible. We did not euthanize any dogs, and we euthanized 2 cats due to upper respiratory. They were incredibly sick. At the end of the month, we had 30 dogs and 46 cats, and most of those are kittens. All our adult cats have been fixed out at Paul's Clinic, so they can be adopted for $10 or a fee waived just to place them. I responded to 28 calls. We took in $60 in rabies fees, 415 in adoptions, 160 in return to owners, and so total receipts was 635. We had 1 dog let out of the office, and he busted through the screen door, and out he went, and we haven't caught him yet. And also a cat escaped. The people brought it, and it just actually got out of their car and was gone. 5 of the, like I said, 5 of the return to owner fees were waived. And then also a dog and a cat that were already altered, the fee was waived because they had been there a really long time, and it was either find them a home that way or put them to sleep. And so they went to a home.
Move to adoption report.
I'll make the motion.
Need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any question?
Yeah, I've got, I wanna make a motion that we, do a budget amendment to allow the charitable contributions to go into other supplies. Linda said that all we needed to do was do that, and then whenever you get a donation, someone tells you that the donation is coming, then you go and tell Linda that you've got X amount of dollars, and you wanna put it into that line item, which is
Okay.
other supplies, and then that will do a budget amendment that we'll vote on, and then it'll go in there and it'll show up. So,
Much closer to pass that. Money donated. Money donated for animal care or animal supplies or what?
well, it's just money donated from organizations will go into other supplies. I mean, you can use it however we as a committee see fit.
Right.
And she said it actually show as a revenue when it goes in to the general fund, then they would dispense it into that line item.
Okay.
And money donated from organizations could be transferred.
Yes.
Could be transferred where?
To other supplies. And it really wouldn't matter where we transfer it, I figured that'd be an easy one.
Yeah.
Motion by Richard to ask that money donated from organizations, could it be organizations or private citizens?
Right, yeah, no.
Or could be transferred to other supplies. Okay.
You made a motion, we need a second.
Second.
Second, gentlemen.
All in favor?
Aye.
For vote. Any more questions?
I have one thing I'd like to be considered. Especially with the Bright Future scholarships out there now, that a lot of kids are needing to do, it's a requirement, they do so many hours for their scholarships. A lot of kids are graduating high school and are not 18, but they have to have this before they can go into, start their college. I would like, a lot of parents are calling asking, can the kids do that? They're 17 years old, almost 18. I'd like to be considered, maybe even young adults as young as 15, as long as their parents are willing to sign a waiver or the volunteer forms, because I have a lot of kids want to come volunteer. And I don't mind the, teenagers being out there. They're good help, they like to learn, they're very eager to learn. And I'd like to be considered, that right now everybody has to be 18. And a lot of kids aren't 18 when they graduate nowadays.
Who law is it, the state? Who?
I think it's just county.
Isn't it the Hope Scholarship, it's like the Hope Scholarship?
Yes, I think it's called Bright Futures,
Okay.
but it's the one they
They
get with the
have to,
lottery.
they have to do so many hours of community
Yes,
service
ma'am.
in order to qualify for
Lane's
that.
daughter, oldest daughter, come out and done her hours there, but she's 18 already.
Yeah, in order to qualify for
I
it.
guess that'd be a question for the lawyers.
Yeah.
My daughter, she did that when she was in Interact over at the Humane Society.
And
She
Tommy
did
has
that.
somebody that would be interested in volunteering out there, but he's not 18, he's only 17. And so I wanted to see if we could, possibly get that, check it out and see if it's any way possible and maybe get that.
Kim asked about the Bright Future Scholarships, and there's kids needing hours, and could under 18 do this if parents would sign a form?
Like I say,
We asked that,
allow you.
we asked that our attorney give us an opinion. And I want to brag on the rat killing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Thanks
Mention
to
that.
Tommy, he's killed a lot of our rats out there and the weeds.
I gotta kill something. And kill the weeds out there.
He killed the weeds.
Killed all the weeds, brought the tractor out there and sprayed that bank, killed all that.
You got any wildcats up there on the mountain anymore?
I ain't been back up
I
there.
say we might have somebody sick on it.
I'm afraid to go up there.
I'll tell you what, now, people can say what they want. I've raised dogs pretty well all my life. And I raised labs, and I had one in, well, y'all call it in season, in heat, whatever, the last 2 weeks, and not one male dog showed up. Animal control is working. It is working.
It is, it really is.
It really is. And I'm telling you what, it used to be, I'd have 2 or 3 at a time
If you
hanging around.
just look back at the numbers of all the dogs that we've spayed,
Yeah.
and neutered, and
And I
all the
know
ones
in
we've sent
different
out of
parts
here,
of the
it's
county-
gotta start making a difference.
In different parts of the county, it's worse, but it is much better out there around my house. And you live out there. Is it better out there where you're at too?
Yeah.
Can you get the numbers? Would that all be in this spreadsheet, you know, going back, how many was spayed?
I don't have it, I mean, I'd have to pull up each individual
I mean,
quarter,
sometime, not
yeah.
next week or
Yeah.
nothing, but it would be, I never thought about it, it would be neat to find out how many we've spayed and neutered since we started that.
But I can tell you one thing, cat population is growing.
The cat population is that one.
What, may I say something? If we could institute at least a track, neuter, and return policy for the cats, that would help a little bit. And that's one of the things our group is going to try and do. And we're also trying to really, really get the spay neuter. We've got a program this month. We're going to continue it for the months to come to try and reach out to as many people as we can. I've been talking to the people up in Grundy County. They've been able to reduce their stray animal population by 80% over the past 5 years because of their really aggressive spay-neuter policy. So they go out and talk to people, and they bring the animals in, and they virtually have no stray animals up in Grundy County anymore, except for the ones people go up there and dump. So it does work. It really does work.
And I don't know if anything will come of it or not, but just so that you guys know, the city is considering licensing. And I think that's a big step.
Well, I thought that the city, anytime, and I've kept my papers with me, and if I take my dog anywhere in the city, that you're supposed to have your rabies.
Oh, and that's statewide.
Yeah, but in the city, you're supposed to have their shot records and everything with you. I thought that was the rule.
There's everything, and that's why I've started collecting the $12 fee with the adoption fee, and that way they get their rabies shot when they go to the vet to be spayed or neutered, and that way it's done, and I know it's done.
Is that a 3-year shot or a 1 year?
The first one is a 1, and then the second one they can get a 3.
Any more questions? Any more questions? Steve?
We need a motion.
We can get a
We
motion.
done, guys.
We got a motion for it.
Say it.
July. Lowe's to Wastaway, we didn't haul nothing out there. Lowe's to Southern Central, we had 691.17 ton. That cost $29,374.25. That's 110 loads. Newsprint, we had one load, that was 5.9 ton. That brought $127.25, that's one load. On our cardboard, we had 32.85, that brought $985.50, 8 loads. Metal Southern Central, we had 25.94 ton, that brought $2,594, 11 loads, and metals went down about $4.50 now, I think. It's on the downside now. And our aluminum cans, we had .66, that brought $594, that's 2 loads. Collection, we collected 16 used batteries, that brought $112. Collection site for used tires, we collected 2,201 passenger tires and 59 truck tires. So we're still getting blasted with tires. And they had this cleanup other day, and the river cleanup, and we didn't have to take very many of those. They had a special trailer coming in that they sent up here from Bridgestone with a company that we use, and they dealt with those, although they left out some, and we did take them, so they wouldn't have no problem with that. And we collected 420 gallons of used oil. We had 2.50 tons of electronics and 3 tons of plastic. We had a total of 7461 tons that was recycling money coming back to the county, and these materials totals $4,412.75. Had a total of 27.17 tons were paid to be recycled. 691.17 went to the landfill. Had 13% for the month of July. And also, we've been trying to get ready for these schools. I had a bunch of dumpsters last year that we had to take and get weld the bottoms in, and we repainted them and thought we had them all done. And then Irving College, they got that place off, and then I had some up there, but they was too tall, and come find out they built the dock about 2 foot tall, and so we had to go up there today and we had to get some redesigned to match it where they could throw over in there without getting hurt or something, so we got
You had
that
to
done.
cut the dumpster off, or?
Well, we had the tall ones, which was the 8 yards, and we used 6 yard containers. They built the dock up there where one would go in there, but the tall ones wouldn't work. Then they had the step that went down, which you didn't have steps, it's just a gradual fall.
Yeah.
And so we had to put them 2 more up there. It's really nice, but I mean,
They should have got you to come up there and.
well, yeah, they should have, cause that center county worked out pretty good, you know, but they just didn't, I don't know why they didn't get their dock tall enough. But it'll work out with this, they just have to lift a little bit more, but we tried to fix it for them. But it's nice up there, they got a nice gym
Yeah.
up there. So that's took care of.
I'd like to ask a question, and it's nothing to you, but who do we talk to about these community service workers out there using on their cell phones?
Well, I guess it'd be the probation officer with the court, probably Bill Lott, some of them.
I've had some of your workers mention it to me,
Yeah.
that they wish that we could get something done about it, and I've seen it, cars pull up there and they're on their cell phones, and people getting out and having to do their trash and stuff. Me, for one, I don't care, but, you know, if they don't need their phones with them.
Well, they don't, and I don't know, a lot of them, of course, they call for their rides over there, you know.
And,
We could
if-
use their phones.
Well, they
They-
could turn them in
Yeah.
at the office there, or in the
Yeah.
little shed, and then.
Yeah, it's sad to say, but we have some come over, I believe that's all they know how to do.
Yeah.
I mean, they've never been asked to do too much, that's probably the reason they're over there, a lot of
Well,
them.
I had one of your workers approach me about that the other day when I was over there.
It is, it's a problem, but everybody's got them, even just about any worker.
His worker got him.
They got them, I've got them, I get so aggravated, I have to tell you, I
Well,
do
I
get
know,
aggravated.
What was your question, Linda?
Mine was just, who do we notify to see about these kids that are over there working community service.
Oh, okay.
It's on their cell phones, using their cell phones when they're supposed to be working.
Well, I know about that. Don't quote me on that.
But I mean, it is a problem. I mean, you know, like every time you go over there, there'll be somebody new different over there, which I've got some rules over there but that's not one of them. I mean, it is a problem every time you turn around.
It shouldn't
He
be. one.
can,
You shouldn't have to enforce that though.
no, the dude that working there, he can send them home and they just won't get the hours in. He can stop it if he want to stop it.
Yeah, we could do, I mean, we have done that, cause some of them was unruly. If they get unruly, we send them out there, you know, but,
And I went over there this morning and took a whole bunch of stuff off, and those guys that were over there this morning was as nice as they could be, you
yeah,
know.
most of them are, most of them, we don't have to send very many of them out,
I had some stuff that had to go in some of the other
you know. bins.
dumpsters, and they came right down there and took it out of the car for me.
But now, that is, like I say, these cell phones, even employees been there for years. I mean, it just, this way of life, I guess, what you might say.
And, you know, I was watching TV and it's not just in the United States, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere, we just,
Everywhere, you
it's
know,
took over, you know, and it ain't good, but I
everybody.
don't know what we can do, really.
Watched a guy ride a bicycle yesterday on a cell phone, he ran over the curb there and very clean.
You get out and hit them.
I did not.
Wow. With some public servants, you are.
Well, Town Square, when I'm running through there, if I wanted to, I could pick a lot of pockets, because they're walking out in front of cars and everything.
Yeah, it's dangerous, it really is.
Fine.
Hopefully, man, got them all gone crazy this morning.
They've been picking bad from that.
We get a motion, to accept his report.
Second.
Favor? No more questions, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
Yes, second.
I second.
All in favor?